Hey y'all, it's Chicken Little here, and the sky is falling. Custom with Solutions 8, and I want to talk to you about Google's announcement regarding search terms, which is cray cray, to be honest with you. And I don't say that because I'm a grown ass man. Um, Google Ads just announced that they're going to limit search term reporting. Now, what this means, if you're not aware, when you are bidding on a search term with Google, let's say that I'm bidding on, I run Google Ads for people, so I'm going to bid on like Google Ads agency, for instance. Um, Depending on the match type that I'm using, I'm not just bidding on Google Ads agency. I'm also bidding on expanded opportunities. So if somebody searches for best Google Ads agency or Google Ads agency near me, or why should I use a Google Ads agency, or Google Ads agency jobs, or Google Ads agency fraud, my ad could possibly come up. So what you start to do, if you want to still use those expanded match types, is you begin adding negative keywords. So anytime you see a search term come in, this is a standard operating procedure for our agency. We review search terms regularly, sometimes as much as every day, depending on the spend of the campaign. But you review your search terms, find anything that's irrelevant, and then you add a negative search term. So if somebody's searching for Google Ads agency jobs, I don't want that search. I don't want to pay to have somebody click on my ad if they're looking for work. So I would add jobs as a negative search term. It's a great process, works really well. And it's become more and more necessary because Google is expanding their reach. Exact match no longer means exact match. So going back to the match types that I mentioned, if you tell Google, hey, I only want Google Ads agency exact match, and somebody has to type in exactly that or I don't want them, Google will still give you expanded searches. And in some instances, the expansion is very broad. PPC ads agency instead of Google Ads agency. And that's, maybe I'm going a little too far there just in terms of the example, but they are broadening exact match beyond your ability to control, which is, it is what it is. And a lot of it, I think, has to do with Google's march towards automation and their need to, because they know better than us in so many ways, according to them, they feel that they can improve the efficacy of our campaign and protect us from ourselves. So that was fine for a while because we had a recourse. We could look at all the search terms that we were capturing, and then we could add negative search terms to our campaigns, which would push those away, which means you only make that mistake once. And then, through key phrase sculpting, you're pushing those terms away. Well, Google is now... they alerted advertisers that they're going to stop showing search queries that triggered their ads when there's not significant data. They claim that this is a privacy thing. Changes to our search term reports to only include terms that a significant number of users search for. Here's the problem, and I think Search Engine Land did a good job here asking the right questions. What does significant mean? The problem here is, especially for low spend campaigns, and I, low spend is subjective, obviously, but if you're spending less than $5,000 a month, one or two clicks can get really costly depending on your CPC, and it can be necessary to be able to push those away. We're talking, I've got some CPCs that are $50, $60, $70. So if I make a mistake twice, that could be $150. And on a smaller account, that's a tax relevant sum of money. And Google isn't telling us here what significant means. And so we have no idea what this threshold is set to. But it's a pretty significant change. This is a problem that will be difficult to address. The hope, of course, is that Google is actually right with their machine learning and they will ultimately know better than us. And I've seen that actually play out. I saw it play out with smart shopping, surprisingly, where Google sort of bested the manual algorithm, and God bless them for doing it. But at this point, it's frustrating because you won't know. You won't know if they are doing better or not because you're not going to be able to see the search terms that you're paying for. And so there's no question that you're going to be paying for some irrelevance. I think what Google's banking on is the fact that allowing them the expansion with less of a leash gives them the opportunity to capture more data and optimize the campaigns to a greater degree. So it's one step back and many steps forward, would be my assumption. This is one more step towards Google's ongoing march towards automation. They want us to worry less. The manual intervention, they just keep narrowing it down. Your ability to manually manage your campaign is being greatly inhibited on multiple levels. And this is another really good example of that. So I remember I don't remember what it was, 2014, 2013, something, Google rolled out the not provided provision And I remember watching a video from Rand Fishkin, and it basically destroyed SEO as we knew it at the time. And you'd have thought somebody smacked Rand in the face. Like he was just white as a ghost and talking about like, well, and he's trying to be optimistic and talk about all the things that we could do. But nobody bought it. We all knew it was like, yeah, this is going to make things harder. It actually, in the long run, even though I'm sure it killed Rand's software because it was built around a lot of that data, in the long run, I think it made it easier for SEOs because when Google muddies the waters with the data, you need professionals more than ever. So it's bad for the customer, though. It's bad for the end client. It's bad for the user. It's bad for you if you're running your own Google ads because now the likelihood of you needing an agency that can actually watch these things, intuit results, make more strategic changes, I think that increases. So it's good for the agency, but potentially, and it's good for the agency up until Google gets all the way down to where you're not managing anything. You're like, here's my domain name, here's my credit card, go. And now the agency have nothing to do. So this is, we're in the trash compactor in Star Wars, and the walls are closing in slowly, and there's not a whole lot you can do about it. If you hit up Twitter right now, there's kind of a firestorm of pissy PPCs, which I guess I'll call PPCs. And that's only the ones that really know what's going on. Some folks are just completely blind to the fact that we just got hamstrung. Google just threw, pretty significant blinders on. And, we'll see. We'll see what significant means to Google. I have something else highlighted here. What is it? Oh, yeah, I already mentioned this, but Google's expanding search anyway. So the fact that they're limiting your ability to keep your searches close, which means you have this broad area of gray, and then limiting your ability to see what happens in that broad area of gray. Like, oh goodness, this is a tough one. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what kind of impact this actually has. I don't want to sound too negative. It's easy for Google to roll out these broad sweeping changes and then find out that they actually didn't, they didn't do much and they were just playing the legalese game. But I don't think this is a legal issue, or at least not predominantly so. I don't think that the primary concern here is privacy, like Google claims. I think that this is a part of an ongoing campaign to further buttress their automated machine learning algorithms. And we'll see if I'm wrong. Let me know what you think. If you have any thoughts or opinions, I'd love to hear them. Drop them in the comments. If you haven't subscribed, you might want to fix that. Otherwise, I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks.